For more than a century, humans have been fascinated by dinosaurs, creatures that ruled Earth for over 160 million years. Massive predators, giant herbivores, animals unlike anything alive today. Then, around 66 million years ago, their world suddenly ended. A massive asteroid struck what is now Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, creating the Chicxulub crater and triggering a global extinction event that wiped out all non-avian dinosaurs. But what if we could reverse history? What if one day a real dinosaur stepped onto Earth again? Imagine seeing a brachiosaurus walking through a valley, watching a herd of dinosaurs move across a landscape, standing behind reinforced glass as a Tyrannosaurus Rex approaches. It sounds like the greatest attraction humanity has ever created. But there is a problem. A Jurassic Park would not just be a theme park. It would be a completely new experiment. Because dinosaurs would not be returning to their old world. They would be entering ours. Chapter 1. Could we even make one? Before spending billions on a park, we need a dinosaur. In the film, scientists recover dinosaur blood from mosquitoes preserved in amber. They extract the DNA, fill the missing sections with genetic material from living animals, and use the completed instructions to grow an embryo. It feels believable because amber can preserve the shape of an insect in remarkable detail. But shape is not the same as usable genetic information. DNA is an extremely long and fragile molecule. After death, water, heat, oxygen, radiation, microbes, and ordinary chemical reactions break it into progressively smaller fragments. Given enough time, the genetic message becomes molecular noise. Non-avian dinosaurs disappeared about 66 million years ago, far beyond the survival window expected for readable DNA under natural conditions. Scientists have recovered ancient DNA from much younger extinct animals, including mammoths, but no verified dinosaur genome exists. Birds preserve part of the dinosaur evolutionary story, yet they are not storage devices containing a hidden Tyrannosaurus blueprint. Reversing a modern bird would produce an engineered bird with selected ancestral traits, not a faithful copy of an extinct species. So a real Jurassic Park is currently beyond our reach. For this thought experiment, however, we will grant science one impossible breakthrough. The genome is solved, development works, and the world's first healthy Tyrannosaurus is born. Chapter 2. Building a home for giants. The first challenge would not be creating dinosaurs. It would be finding somewhere for them to live. Modern zoos are designed around animals that exist today. But dinosaurs evolved for a completely different planet. A brachiosaurus was not just a large animal, it was a walking ecosystem. Some sauropods reached lengths of more than 20 meters and weighed tens of tons. A creature that size cannot live in a small enclosure. It would need enormous open spaces. The problem? Earth today is covered with cities, farms, and human settlements. A real Jurassic Park would require massive protected land, not a few acres, possibly an entire reserve. And even if we found the space, we would still need to answer the hardest question: how do you keep a dinosaur inside? Chapter 3. The fence that can never fail. Every Jurassic Park has one famous weakness: the fence. In movies, the disaster begins when the security system fails. But in reality, this would be the most important engineering challenge. Modern wildlife parks already spend enormous resources designing barriers for powerful animals. Now, imagine designing one for a creature that could weigh several tons and has millions of years of evolutionary behavior. A dinosaur would not understand. This is my boundary. It would only understand. Something is blocking my path. A frightened animal does not calculate. It reacts. A real enclosure would need multiple layers of barriers, task-up power systems, instant monitoring, emergency response teams. Because the biggest danger is not when everything works. It is the one moment when something does not. Chapter 4. Feeding a dinosaur. Creating a dinosaur would be expensive. Keeping one alive could be even more difficult. A Tyrannosaurus Rex was one of the largest land predators to ever exist. A predator of that size would require a carefully managed food supply. Now imagine maintaining dozens. The park would need food production facilities, veterinary specialists, nutrition experts, storage systems, medical equipment, and herbivores would not be easier. A giant plant-eating dinosaur would require enormous amounts of vegetation every day. The park would basically need to become a combination of a zoo, a farm, a research facility, and a power plant. The dinosaur itself might be the attraction, but keeping it alive would be the real operation. Chapter 5. The planet has changed. One of the biggest problems is something most people never consider. Dinosaurs would not be returning to the same Earth. The planet they knew is gone. The continents changed. The climate changed. The plants changed. The ecosystems changed. A dinosaur evolved alongside thousands of other species that disappeared with it. For example, a predator does not only need food, it needs the right environment, the right prey, the right temperature, the right balance. Nature is not a collection of separate parts. It is a connected system. Introducing a giant extinct animal into today's world could create unpredictable consequences. Chapter 6. The bill never stops. The first dinosaur would make headlines, but the second day would bring reality. Who pays for the land? The security? The scientists? The food? The medical care? The emergency systems? A Jurassic Park would not be expensive because of the dinosaur. It would be expensive because everything around the dinosaur must exist forever. The real cost would not be creating a monster. It would be maintaining one. Chapter 7. Could it ever happen? The truth is, a real Jurassic Park is not impossible because humans lack imagination. It is difficult because nature is complicated. Dinosaurs were not just animals. They were part of an entire world, a world that disappeared 66 million years ago. Today, scientists are studying extinct species, genetics, and ancient ecosystems. And birds remind us that dinosaurs are not completely gone. Modern birds are living descendants of one branch of dinosaurs that survived the extinction event. Maybe one day humans will recreate extinct animals. Maybe we will build something that looks like Jurassic Park. But the biggest challenge will never be opening the gates. It will be deciding whether we should, because bringing back the past is not just a scientific achievement. It is a responsibility.